Okay, everyone, if you could please take your seats. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Jasmine Bowie, and she'll just take it away. And this is our final session before I come back with my closing remarks.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to today's final offering, a restorative sound meditation. I am Jasmine Bowie. I'm a holistic therapist, a breath and sound healing guide, and the founder of Verse Wellness. A lot of my work is steeped and rooted in community, supporting Black women and girls, but I love being able to take part in the conversation rooted in supporting Black men's mental health as well. And whenever possible, I show up to be able to support with that work. And so the only intention that I have for you all today is just give yourself permission to simply be. To-do lists on pause, action items on pause, what you're gonna cook for dinner on pause, giving yourself a moment to just be with yourself, to feel whatever needs to be felt, and to soak up these good vibrations. And so how many of you have ever participated in a sound bath before? We have someone right front and center, very proud. Yes, I love that. And how many folks have ever just meditated before? Okay, we have more folks who have experienced meditating. And so essentially, this is just gonna be a moment for you to just do nothing and allow me to guide you. But I do wanna take a second to just kind of ground us in like what the experience is gonna be, because for those of us who've never participated, or even if we have, we may not always understand like what is the actual impact happening when we are playing different sounds. And so I have a number of resident instruments here. We have sound bowls, a few variations of chimes, and I have an ocean drum behind me. Essentially, all of these instruments are attuned to a certain vibrational frequency that does something to us through a process called entrainment. And so entrainment essentially means that when you are playing a resonant sound, our bodies tend to naturally align to that sound. And so we go through a process of entrainment every single day. One of the most common experiences, maybe you're walking alongside someone and you notice that your footsteps begin to align with theirs without even trying. It's just like, oh, we're in sync. You see someone dancing, next thing you know, y'all are matching each other's rhythm because our bodies are naturally inclined to align towards rhythm. And so when we have certain healing frequencies, what they do is it creates an opportunity for our internal rhythm to match the external rhythm, in which really beautiful things begin to happen. And so from energetic and also physical standpoint, we are constantly moving through the world, absorbing people's energy. You ever catch somebody who just had a really bad vibe and now your energy is off? Right? Or you meet someone on the opposite end of the spectrum, have a really beautiful energy, and it just like made your day, right? Right? Sometimes we can call that like co-regulation. Like you find your person, it's like, ooh, let's just co-regulate together so my frequency can match your frequency, and you can help me align to a better energy. And so when we are playing these sounds, something is happening to our body. We are shifting from what I call, not what I call, but what we know that we have our sympathetic nervous system. And so many of us who may struggle with mental health or are just overly stressed because we're trying to figure out how to move through the world, times is hard, money is tight, we taking care of these kids, whatever the thing may be for you, we can find ourselves oftentimes operating through a survival instinct, our sympathetic nervous system, our stress response, our fight, flight, and freeze response. And sometimes, so many of us don't even know that we're in our stress response because we're just so used to being there. And so we don't even know we stress, we just living a life just full of stress until you take a moment to pause and say, oh, I didn't know I could be light again. And so what I am going to support you in doing through this session is shifting us from our sympathetic nervous system into our parasympathetic nervous system, which is our rest and digest response. That way, other things can begin to happen in our bodies. Okay, the last thing I want to say about emotions, right? Because so many of us feel emotions and we have different relationships with our emotions. Emotions are just energy in motion. The whole concept of emotions is supposed to flow through us. Oftentimes what happens is we don't want to process them. We don't want to acknowledge them. They get stuck and we find ourselves moving through life really, really, really heavy, energetically heavy. And so what the sound instruments also do is it connects with some of the energy, the emotions that we're holding in our body and begin to kind of move them and release them. And so that can translate as in you may feel a little bit emotional and that's okay. Whatever is coming up for you is coming up for you for the most perfect reason. No need to fight it. I'm going to curate a space that hopefully feels safe enough for you to be able to feel your feelings and release them to create just a little bit more spaciousness. You may also find that levels of clarity arrive. Maybe there's a problem that you've been toiling with for some time. It's like, I feel really, really clear in this moment. And so thank you for allowing me the space to do this with you. And in this moment, I'm going to cue up my playlist. What we're going to do, we're going to take the first maybe 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm going to guide you through a grounding meditation so that we can prep our bodies to be able to receive the sound vibrations. How does that sound? Amazing, amazing. Let me cue up the playlist. And then you all let me know if you hear it okay. All right. How does that sound? Good. Amazing. So in this moment, I'm going to invite you just to go ahead and close your eyes if you feel safe and comfortable to do so. If not, I invite you just to lower your eyes to a gentle gaze, maybe focusing on the tip of your nose. Taking a moment to just arrive in this space. And we're going to start off by just taking a collective cleansing breath, inhaling in through our nose, feeling your belly nice and wide like a blowfish. Hold your breath there for a moment. Slowly exhale, release. Beautiful. Releasing any tension you may be holding, any stress, any angst, letting it all go. And that feels really good. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling in through the nose. Holding that breath there for a moment. Slowly exhale and releasing. Beautiful. And we're going to invite in some softness, starting with our head. I'm going to invite you just to go ahead and relax any racing thoughts that you may be holding in your mind, any action items, any worries, any to-dos. Soften and release. Beautiful. Moving down your face, softening your eyebrows, any tension you may be holding in your forehead. Moving down to your jaw. Go ahead and soften your jaw. It may feel really nice to also go ahead and unclench your tongue from the roof of your mouth, allowing yourself to be completely immersed in an energy of softness. Relaxing those shoulders. Beautiful. Your arms, your fingers. Any nerves you may be feeling in your belly, go ahead and release that for this moment. Relaxing your legs down to your ankles, your feet, and your toes. Completely immersed in an energy of softness. Beautiful. Bringing awareness to anything that you may be feeling in your body. No judgment. Not assigning meaning to it, just noticing. Beautiful. And as you notice, I invite you to bring your awareness to whatever structure is currently supporting you, be it a chair if you're sitting, or the ground beneath you if you're standing. And just take a second to notice what it feels like to be supported, deeply supported in this moment. At no request of your own. Just held with care. Nothing for you to do but be. Safe. Held in community. A space rooted in love. Just feel that in. Gently breathing at your own rhythm and pace. And as you arrive to this feeling of safety, I'm going to invite you to let go just a little bit more. Release just a little bit more. Can you sink in your chair just a little bit more? Can you become just a little bit more softer? So soft that you may feel just a little bit of heaviness. Allowing that seat, God, the ground, However you choose to connect to support you in this moment, feeling your own love. Just feel it in. Beautiful. And in this moment, I want you to ask yourself just one question: what do I need? Especially as care providers, caring for any and everyone. Oftentimes we show up in service to others, but maybe asking yourself, what do I need? What do I need to feel safe, to feel supported, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel validated, to be reminded that I am too deserving of beautiful things, all the beautiful things that life has to offer, not just the hard things, not just the heavy things. Can we put it down just for a moment? Beautiful. And whatever you land on, just go ahead and take that need and tuck it into your heart and just trust that it will find you at the most perfect time. And we're going to begin our sound baths, gently breathing at your body's rhythm and pace. Gently breathing, nowhere to be, but here in this moment, and tuning to your own needs. Beautiful. Continuing to gently breathe. Beautiful. As you're sitting, I invite you just to take a second, continuing to listen to the sound vibrations, but maybe take a moment to think about something really heavy that you're holding. We got your body nice and prepped. What is taking up space in your heart and in your mind? I invite you to release it. Maybe imagining that is oozing through your pores, no longer yours to carry. Gently breathing, creating space for new possibilities to emerge, new narratives to land, embracing aligned ideas of who you are, so that you can continue to show up and do the work that you were created to do. What are you releasing? Any ruminating thoughts that you may be holding on to, pondering every day, can you let it go? Even if it's just for this moment, but hopefully beyond this moment. Maybe it's other people's expectations of you that are heavy. Put it down. Maybe it's other people's misrepresentation of you. Can we put that down? Maybe it is the need to constantly be problem solving and figuring out how we can solve all the problems of the world. It's not just for you to do. That's why community is so important. Can we release it? Beautiful. And we don't just release to become empty. We release to create space. So I ask you again, what do you need? And maybe, just maybe, as you release, more of what you need can arrive. More room for joy. More room for play. More room for your heart's desires. Reminding you that as long as you have breath in your body, you have time. As long as you have breath, healing is available for you. Releasing weight of timelines that are not designed to go where you're going. Let that go. Regardless of how young or seasoned you may be, there's time. Feel that in. Reminding you, just as every cell in your body can regenerate, so are you. You are regenerative. Just as those skin cells renew, so do you. Feel it in. Gently breathing, just about 2 more minutes. And as you release and create space, can we just extend some gratitude for all that's new, all that's en route, all that's here? What are you grateful for? Gratitude is the key, it's the unlock to new possibilities. Fill that in. And as you think about what you're grateful for, can we extend that gratitude energy to somebody you love who've shown up for you? Let's just send them some of our gratitude, trusting that it will reach them and find them exactly where they are. Just taking a final collective breath, inhaling in through the nose. Beautiful. Exhaling out of the mouth. Let's do that once more. Inhaling in through the nose. Take our time here. Fill your belly with as much breath as you possibly can. Hold that breath there. Hold. Slowly exhale, release, letting it all go. Beautiful. Taking your time with that exhale. And we are going to slowly make our way back to present moment awareness. No rush. Maybe you want to do this by inviting in some movement into your body, maybe wiggling your toes, moving up your body, inviting in some movement in your legs, maybe stretching beside you and around you, taking your time to lock in this moment, no rush. And when you are ready, I want to invite you to maybe look up and around the room before focusing your attention up front, just kind of reorienting yourself to present moment awareness. Amazing. And when you are ready, I'll meet you back here in the front. Beautiful. And can you just take just a second to just give yourself some love for showing up for yourself today, for maybe doing something new, right? We never done that before for some of us. Yeah, and maybe just extend some love to the other folks in the room. It's all collective energy. Beautiful. And I can hold maybe like 2 minutes of space if anyone wanted to just check in and share what that experience was like for them, whether beautiful or uncomfortable. All experiences are welcome. I'll open it up. Very cleansing. Thank you for that. Yes, now we need a nap. See, the one thing about a sound bath, it's going to help you get that deep, deep sleep. So if you find yourself sleeping good tonight, you know why. Anyone else? Refreshing. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Amazing. So it is my hope. The thing that I want to offer you today is you may not have instruments, but there's sound everywhere. Sometimes I go outside and listen to the birds, or I have a high vibe playlist that can help shift my energy. It could be gospel music. It could be calming music. And then we have the music that turns us up when we need to turn up as well. And so when you find yourself in a space where you feel a little bit off center, just know that you can access any free things around you to help ground you and bring you back. And the biggest one is your breath. It's your breath. Taking slow, deep breaths can tell your nervous system that you are safe. There is no threat. It will shut off. What happens when we're in our stress response, all the parts of us that are critical for our functioning shuts off, right? But when you breathe, you tell your body, oh, I'm safe. And so just take your breath with you, and where you can, add in a little bit of sound. And I send you deep love. Take good care of yourself. You're welcome.
So we've come to the end of our program. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being with us today. I want you to give yourselves a real round of applause for being here today. And we had a great group of presenters that we learned so much from. And so I would like to thank and acknowledge each one of them. I'd like to thank Dr. Lena Green, Dr. Tremanisha Lammy, who is still here and who made her way all the way over here to be with us. And we thank you so much for the power building exercise. We thank all of those who participating in those different sessions throughout the day. We thank those that reported back to us. We like to thank our peace poet and our young poet. They were remarkable, and we really thank them for that. We would like to thank Dr. Kishore Malavade, who participated to facilitate the discussion with David Allen, Pastor Jave Ellis, as well as Pastor James Johnson. And I didn't mention Franz Jerome and Ari Newman, just to call their names. And of course, we thank Jasmine Bowie, who just participated as well. The work that we do at the Institute would not be done would not be accomplished without our staff. So I'd like to thank all of our staff members. I know some of them are outside. You could wave, and so people could see who you are. And more specifically, I want to just acknowledge some of our staff that are here today. I know Kenya Kirkman. She has been doing a lot of work in the mental health space. And Tynesha Morris, they've been doing a lot of work. And you might have seen them in the barbershops and salons in your churches as they've come together and done some work. I would like to acknowledge Faven Araya, who is, where is Faven? Yeah, so Faven Araya, who has done so much, and this has been a tough year for us. And we just like to thank you, Faven, for all the work that you do and just showing up. And of course, Stacy. Stacy Wright goes way back with the Institute. I think she has been with the Institute since 2000. And during that time, I know she has left and done a lot of things, but is always present with us to do some of the work in the mental health space. And I just want to turn this over for a minute to Kenya and Tynesha. But before that, I actually want to also acknowledge someone at Downstate who has been a real remarkable person that has worked with us for such a time as this. And I want to acknowledge Taryn. And so I'll ask Stacy to come and present her with this. Is she here? I don't know if Taryn is here, but I just really want to acknowledge her, and we'll make sure she gets this, because she's the one that said, like, okay, yeah, so you have to make sure the Downstate community knows about everything that we're doing, so we really want to acknowledge her. But before I go, and before I take my leave, I'll ask Kenya and Tynesha to come up.
Thank you, Dr. Frazier. All right, so for many of you who know, we've been doing this work since, well, the mental health work specifically, since the height of the pandemic. We have partnered with a lot of you in our peer program, either from poetry to the sound bath. So the students got to experience that over the summer, and it was a phenomenal hit, so we wanted to bring that to you. But prior to that, I wanted to acknowledge two people, Faven Araya and Stacy Wright, because even though my name is on the flyer, they have also supported tremendously in this work. Especially when we started in the pandemic, this was like an idea. We was like, okay, we needed to do a needs assessment, like what's going on in the community, who's impacted the most, how can we help them? And Faven especially was right by my side when we first started this work, and Umberto Brown as well. But as time went on, Tynesha joined us, Stacy joined us, and it's, as Dr. Frazier has mentioned, and as we all have shared, that we all are walking with our own personal experiences. We are all, you know, daily fighting through trauma. Unfortunately, trauma is always trying to hit us. And I just wanted to acknowledge Stacy Wright and Faven Araya for all the work that they've done with the Institute, with the mental health work, and always showing up to support us. So if Stacy and Faven could come up, that would be greatly appreciated. Oh, and Tanisha, did you want to say something real quick?
Sure. As Kenya had mentioned, I'm fairly new to the team, been here for a year, but also this is my second symposium. So I would like to also thank the both of you, because any questions that I have, and I know I have a lot, you guys answer. You guys are always there, even when I think you're not going to be there, you're there. And I also want to thank you guys for always reminding me, reminding Kenya, and all of the other staff, you got to take care of yourself. And we want you guys to know that we appreciate you. So we got you a little something. And of course, I also want to remind everyone in this room, please take care of yourselves. You may not have a Faven or a Stacy, but Arthur Ashe, right there. Even if you need to just step in and talk. We have Taisha in the front. She loves talking, very personable. But for real, take care of yourselves. There's a lot going on politically, personally, out there. Lean on each other.
Thank you. Stacy, Faven, do you want to say anything?
I don't know if it would be rude to take this apart and give the flowers, each rose, to each member of our team. I appreciate the light, but I think this would not have been possible if it wasn't for the both of you doing this work. And leading this work is not easy. We are in the trenches with the community. The ideas that come are as a result of the conversations, of the spaces, of the people that we touch. And it has not been easy. And I know that there's been many moments where we feel the weight of the community, and we feel the weight of our families and our friends and the work that we're leading. And I just want to thank Kenya and Tynesha for showing up each and every day, for putting in the hours, the time. Stacy, for your leadership in thinking about innovative and creative ways and pushing us outside of our boundaries to make this happen. To Marilyn, to Umberto, for always supporting us, supporting our ideas. The rest of the team that's in this room. I wish I could name every single one of you, but you know who you are. You're here now. You were here at 8 a.m. in the morning. You've been with us every single day. And I just want that these flowers are a reflection of the team that is carrying us and supporting us. And so thank you for you all for showing up. This is what makes it worth it, and we hope that we're able to pay this forward. So thank you.
I don't have anything prepared, and I'm one of those people that needs to prepare myself. But I just want to also, like Faven, just thank everyone. And I do agree, you all deserve your flowers. I thank Marilyn for just letting us do these things. She kind of lets us take the reins and go with it. And I love this team. It's an amazing team. These are the people that stay here till 10 p.m. and after to make sure everything is set up. They put love into the food that you had today. They make sure the perfect things are ordered. They make sure that your needs are made from, Kenya suggesting the sound bowl with Jasmine and Dr. Green and everyone bringing a piece of themselves. And I shared this last year. We center this work in the idea of Ubuntu. I am because you are. I am because we are. And it amazes me every time we hold space, what comes out. Because someone can share their grief, someone can share their journey. And I think the more that we share our stories, the more that we liberate each other. And so that I hope that this will all continue. It can't happen without people like Kenya and Tynesha and all the people at the Institute that bring inspiration and dedication. And I want to say this about Downstate, too. They hire these people that are willing to take on 5 to 10 plates at a time. Not sure that that's the healthiest way to be, but amazing people work here. And I think you all felt it in the room. Amazing things happen when we come together. So I hope that I'll see many of you next year. I hope that we'll see you in the spring as we continue this work. And I will share this about Taryn, even though I've tried to get her to come back to the room. I guess she's busy doing her 10 plates. But she taught me a new word today. She's part of the GSD team. She is the part of the Get Stuff Done team. And she is the leader of that team. And she called me the night before Thanksgiving and said, I haven't really heard much about your event. Can I share with more people? And we had about a registration, about 40 people on the 27th. And today we saw numbers over 100. And that's why it matters. All of us showing up matters. And all the small ways that you contribute matter. So thank you all, and thanks to the team.
All right, so we are going to dismiss you guys, but just housekeeping, I guess. We would like to hear from you. Do not forget to let us know how today's event went. This is our second annual 32nd anniversary. And then, like as Stacy mentioned, it is a lot of planning, and we really want to take into consideration what is needed for these spaces, who are some speakers that you think that would be important to these spaces. So feel free and scan in a QR code. We also have some paper copies of the survey if you would like to do that. And we also have the QR code by the registration table. So again, we thank you all for staying with us for the majority of the day. We really, really appreciate that. As Stacy alluded as well, and I'll go back to this slide, we and we probably didn't really give you this year a sense of all the work that we do in the community, but one of the things that we do in our barbershops and salons, as well as our churches, is a paint and heal. You may have seen some pictures and slides during lunch flashing by, and so we want to bring that space to Downstate, and so we're looking to have that in March. So if you are interested in participating, you get like a little paint kit, and our staff will tell you it can be very, very therapeutic, and you might find out that you're the next Picasso. But if you are interested, or if you know anyone who's interested, please please scan the QR code, and we're looking to have that in March because we want to keep this momentum going. We don't want to wait until next November, December, and we want to invite you all to some of the work that we do in the community right here in Downstate. Okay, so thank you again. We appreciate you all. Get home safe.